Hello once again. I am Doc Rodden, and this is Gruesome Magazine. Tonight we're counting down the top cosmic horror movies.
Gruesome Magazine.
Joining me tonight is my guest host, Vanessa the Scarlet Spitfire. Welcome back to Gruesome Magazine. How are you doing?
Wonderful. Glad to be back. Just came back from a very long nap with the old ones. To talk about this fantastic subject today.
Yeah, cosmic horror. So we're going to be counting down Vanessa, your most your top 10, and they're in chronological order. They're not in numerical order. And so this is your list. But I do have a question before we get going. What makes a cosmic horror?
Cosmic horror. Well, space, right? Anything kind of space related. I also tend to think of more like Cthulhu type horror, or old ones, old gods when I think of cosmic, but really could be sort of anything dealing with space or the unknown of space.
Yeah, because not all of these are in outer space.
That's right.
So it's going to be a fun ride. Really what we want to do is we want to remind you to hit the like and subscribe buttons, share with a friend. Each click will help us find more fans like you. So we thank you for joining us. So let's dive in. Let's do it, right? Let's tear off the Band-Aid and let's just run in, right? Start. First one is 1979 is Alien.
Yeah, how could you not choose this one? It is the forefather, I think, of cosmic horror. We were dabbling in those things before, but this one really nailed it. And Sigourney Weaver became the ultimate final girl.
Yep, she absolutely did. So Alien is directed by Ridley Scott, written by Dan O'Bannon and Ronald Shusett. The stars included Sigourney Weaver, of course, Tom Skerritt, Veronica Cartwright, Harry Dean Stanton, John Hurt, Ian Holm, Yaphet Kotto, and Bolaji Badejo. I'm going to say it's Badejo. And it's probably Balaji Badejo, who is a very tall, lanky actor that played the alien creature. So excellent choice. I mean, how could you not? Of course, you can't pick every Alien film. So this is the one, though, right? This is the one. All right. Up next at number 2, to nobody's surprise, is John Carpenter's The Thing, which I guess you could also say Thing from Another World back in the 50s if you really wanted to, but definitely this one. So give us a skinny. Why? Well, I'm going to ask you why this is on the list, and it's kind of a rhetorical.
We all know,
right?
Yeah, we all know why this is on the list. It's a classic of the genre, horror, cosmic horror, something so different from what we had seen before. Part of his trilogy of his Apocalypse trilogy of movies. Another which is on the list, and another in my honorable mentions because I had to get all 3 of them in there. Which I've been working my way through them recently too. Just fantastic for this season and just groundbreaking with everything it did.
Absolutely. Such terrific practical effects and everything
that hold up today.
Oh, wonderfully well. All right, well let's take a quick look at horse. Yeah, isn't that the one you remember, right?
Yeah.
What's the famous line? We don't have to say it.
No.
Director is John Carpenter, of course. Written by Bill Lancaster and John W. Campbell Jr., I think is the writer of the novel, I believe. The cast includes a number of memorable faces, right? Kurt Russell, of course, Wilford Brimley, T.K. Carter, David Clement, Keith David, Richard Dysart, Charles Hallahan, Peter Maloney, Richard Mazer, and Donald Moffat. So, and then Joel Polis as well. I can't leave out Fuchs. We're going to pronounce it Fuchs for this one. If we're on a different podcast, I would pronounce it funny. But yeah, I mean that Classic. It's a classic.
Classic.
It just has to be here.
Classic.
And if you were
Great
doing
dog
it,
acting.
great. If you were doing it, this would be, if not at the top, it'd be very damn close.
Oh yeah. Chronological turned out pretty good too in the order that these are coming out.
Yes, yes. Up next, From Beyond.
Oh my goodness.
Man. Explain why. From the creators of Reanimator, which could also be included technically, right?
Oh yes, absolutely. I see that's one's hard not to add to this, but I tried to keep away from ones that were too used that often. But oh my god, it's just a weird, visually captivating movie. Stuart Gordon just nailed it in that kind of very off-putting, mixing sex and horror and comedy and weirdness all together. And Barbara Gordon was just at her peak at this time, and you know, you got this weird little pineal gland coming out of people's heads. It's
Yes,
just amazing. And of course, it's talking about these creatures from an alternate dimension, and it just ties in perfectly with cosmic horror.
yes. And it also says H.P. Lovecraft's on it. So
Oh yes.
kind of comes with, right? All right. Well, here's a nice shot from it. Which is
There she
a
is.
fun one. Yeah. Directed by Stuart Gordon, as you mentioned. It was based on a short story by H.P. Lovecraft, as we just said. The other writers involved are Brian Yuzna. Sorry.
Yeah.
Dennis Piali and Stuart Gordon himself. The cast includes Jeffrey Combs, Barbara Crampton, Ted Sorrell, Ken Foray, Carolyn Purdy Gordon, and a bevy of others supporting actors. We'll get into that, but we'd already gotten Barbara Crampton and Jeff Combs in the previous film we just mentioned, the Reanimator, and this is a nice companion to that. Gets even a little bit more weird.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You got a
Great.
taste of it in Reanimator.
Yeah. They're both great. They're both great. They're a 1-2
Yeah.
punch, really. All right. And up next is one that I think a lot of people are, if you didn't put this on the list, would be yelling at you, is In the Mouth of Madness. Right? So
That's right. A part of that Apocalypse trilogy.
that's right. So other than that, why is this on the list?
Oh, I just absolutely loved this Carpenter's take on a Stephen King type character, but taking it to the extreme. Do you read Sutter Kane? I just absolutely love Sam Neill's over the top performance in this. I love that you kind of only get a taste of the creature effects in this. You don't see too much, but what you do see is just, terrifying, and it's more the subject of if your reality was no longer your reality anymore. It's just terrifying to think about, and it just breaks these people's minds along the way. And I just love the moments of humor in it too, because that's what Carpenter does so well. He creates these amazing environments with creating the sound for it too, because he does the music for most of his movies, and he just finds those perfect little moments to catch you in and then make you laugh when you didn't expect to laugh. And I just love it. You feel the madness in the story that he's telling.
Absolutely. It was a great choice, of course, right?
Mhm.
And this actually shows up a little bit of the comment. I had to include this because this picture is
I love it.
Yeah. Directed by John Carpenter, written by Michael DeLuca, Sam Neill, Julie Carmen, Jürgen Prochnow, David Warner, John Glover, Bernie Casey, Peter Jason, Charlton Heston, even Francis Bay, and many others. What a fun one that is. I'll share real quick. I'll just stop. I didn't like the movie when it first came out, but I don't know why. I must have been in a bad place. That happened. But I love this movie now. The context and the elements that you just described all wonderfully come together.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're going to stay on the Sam Neill train for this next one, Event Horizon, which is another one that, for me, real quick, has the same kind of thing that In the Mouth of Madness has, and it's where I would appreciate it later, not at the time it came out. But state the obvious. Why is this in the list?
Well, I saw this really too young, probably, for the subject matter of it, but most of us horror fans tend to start early anyways, and that gives us our twisted take on the world that we have. But I was just a huge Sam Neill fan, so I was very excited to see him in this type of movie because I was also a huge horror fan growing up. And this is just the culmination of that pushing things to the edge when it comes to pleasure and pain. So like the alien and the pinhead, what is that?
Hellraiser. Yeah.
Hellraiser, like the
Yeah.
alien and Hellraiser combination of being in space. And it's just so, again, visually beautiful to look at. The special effects that they're working with when they're in that crazy blood orgy that's happening, it's just such a crazy scene to see. It's so iconic, some of the scenes in this movie. And it's one of those that, you could say maybe it's pushing things a little too far, but sometimes if we don't go that far, then we don't know what's out there, I guess.
I like
The
that statement.
deepest black holes of space have to be explored sometimes.
Yep. And speaking of, just look at this picture.
There it is.
Let's look at this picture. Directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, written
Mhm.
by Philip Eisner. The cast includes Sam Neill, Lawrence Fishburne, Kathleen Quinlan, Jolie Richardson, Richard T. Jones, Jack Noseworthy, Jason Isaacs, Sam Pertwee, and many others. Well, not many others, a few others. But there's where we're going to stop. Great choice. All right. Well, we skip a few years. We'll have to find out on another episode where's the cosmic horror between Event Horizon and The Void. But The Void is the next choice. This movie, I love this movie too. But why is this one on the list?
Excuse me. What a wonderful surprise of a movie when I saw this. It's an independent film. It doesn't have a huge budget, but it surely gets its point across in explaining or in showing you, okay, this is a cult-based religion that we're dealing
Mhm.
with in this movie. So you see these cultists and you see people being trapped in a situation and how they deal with that. And then you see these cosmic otherworldly things happening that are being brought on by this cult of people summoning it, right? Beckoning it to come. And as the poster here shows, lots of tentacles, lots of weird alternate dimensions. I don't want to give too much away, but this has one of the best endings, I think, for this type of genre of film because it's it's like a heartbreaking but hopeful ending at the same time because it leaves it open to other things. And I really liked that because sometimes with these films, as it is with cosmic horror, it just leaves you completely, your mind is just completely blown. You don't know where to go or what to think. And I kind of like taking it in the direction that they did with this one in the end. And I really like the tagline there is a hell, this is worse.
It's a great one. All right. Here
Oh
you go.
yeah.
Here's a nice picture. Well, of course, that's from the other poster, but it still gets the point across. Directed by Jeremy Gillespie and Stephen Kostansky. Of course, they wrote it as well. The cast includes Aaron Poole, Kenneth Welch, Ellen Wong, Kathleen Monroe, Daniel Fathers, and Mick Byskoff, among others. Art Handle. We'll say Art Handle. I like that name. So there you go. The Void. All right. Up next, and this is the next three, this one and the next two are basically a year apart from each other. So with the Endless coming in the center, tell me about this one.
Oh, I love this movie. Another one that took me by surprise when it came out. I'll spoil it here. Benson and Moorhead did this. It's earlier on in their career. They directed and starred in it. And wrote it, yeah. And it's just this incredible story again of kind of like a cult situation. But the way time and reality can be manipulated by things bigger than us, we think we have this control, but really, what do we have control of when we are minuscule in the grand scheme of things, right? That's
Mhm.
really what this drives home, and it also kind of they play brothers in this movie, and I really like the way that it shows the relationship of, going through a trauma when you're young together, being completely broken, not knowing who you are, but still finding a way together to overcome the things that happen in this movie. And I really, really like that. And oh man, every time I've seen their name come up from Moon Knight and the other things that they've worked on, I'm like, it's gonna be amazing
Mhm.
because
Yeah,
I know this.
yeah, they are very talented directors and writers and actors for that matter. And
Mhm.
yeah, they deserve far more attention than they're given at this moment. That's for sure, for
I
certain.
agree.
And here you go. It was tough finding a picture, but I got the two actors. And but the thing that struck me about this is the subtlety of the movie, and that's that there's two moons,
Mhm.
and it's subtle. You may not even notice it until I say it. So,
Mhm.
um, again, directed by Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead. The credits only credit Justin Benson as the writer, but I bet you
Yeah.
cast is Aaron Moorhead, Justin Bezens, of course, Callie Hernandez, Tate Ellington, and Shane Brady, and Lou Temple. Lou Temple's a name that horror fans will remember
Mhm.
from The Walking Dead, if nothing else. Boing! All right, up next is the third in our trilogy of 2016, 2017 films, The
Oh,
Ritual. Oh, this movie. Oh, okay. Give us the skinny.
so here we get into more of the Norwegian elder gods, the dealing with the children of Loki and whatnot. And oh my goodness, this movie, all three of these movies caught me so off guard and by surprise. I think Netflix might have been showing this one. I can't remember at the time when it came out. I'm sure I saw it streaming somewhere, but just uh, the thing about these movies that are on this list, they all are so visually impactful, because in order to tell this kind of story, you have to walk in that world, right? You have to
Mhm.
show people what you're trying to say because you can't always say it. Um, and this movie is so atmospheric and scary and haunting and has moments in it that just like take your breath away, or just make you so afraid. That first night that they spend in that cabin is terrifying as they start to go through the evening and as they wake up, and the things that they do, the way the cinematographer and the director work together to
Mhm.
frame shots of grief and
Yes.
pain, and yeah, dealing with what our lead character Rafe Spall is dealing with, and then to also have to make it so, internally about emotions and what they're dealing with, but then to also make it supernatural or cosmic, and to show that creature is the just I love it so much. I will defend it at all costs.
Yes. And speaking of the creature, there we go.
Yeah.
That's a nice shot of it. Of course, that's the reveal of it. Spoilers, but it gets even creepier from there.
Yes,
It
the
is directed,
Jotunheim.
yeah, it's directed by David Bruckner, written by Joe Barton and Adam Neville. Rafe Spall is our lead, as you said. Arshel Ali, Robert James Collier, Sam Troughton, Paul Reed, Matthew Needham, Jacob James Beswick round out the cast. And yeah, this is a perfect addition to the list. All right, now we move a couple years ahead,
Mhm.
uh, and we have Annihilation with Natalie Portman as the poster says. Tell me about this one, Vanessa.
Oh my gosh. Well, as you're gonna share later, what a star-studded cast. Nearly every person cast in this movie is a big name star, and it's such a cool interpretation of an alien invasion or alien contact. And I love that it's this team of women that are going in to investigate after going to look for this other team.
Yes.
One of which is Natalie Portman's husband, who is also, you will mention later. But
Yes.
yeah, we've seen him around. It's just, I really, it reminded me of Alien, but if we took it in a softer direction, right?
Mhm.
More of a subversive direction, because there's still the aspect of it, almost like a body snatchers aspect to it.
Mhm.
Um, there's just so many cool things in this movie. Again, visually beautiful, the way that they work with the colors, moving space, and playing off of, the color out of space, this indefinable color, right?
Yes.
And, and I always love a female-led cast, especially anything horror related. And Natalie Portman just did a fantastic, fantastic job.
Yeah, as did the entire cast, like you said.
Yes.
And of course, this is one of the
Oh,
creepier scenes with the bear.
so creepy.
But yeah, directed by Alex Garland, as the poster said, of Ex Machina,
Hmm.
uh, and written for the screen by Alex Garland, based on a novel by Jeff Vandermeer. The cast includes Natalie Portman, Benedict Wong, Sonora Mizuno, I mispronounced that, David Gyasi, Oscar Isaac, John
Hmm.
Schwab, Jennifer, Jason Lee, Gina Rodriguez, Tuva Novotny, excuse me, Tessa Thompson, Sammy Heyman, Josh Stanford, and Kristen McGarity. A very, what is a stacked cast, as they might say?
Stacked.
All right.
Yes.
All right. The final one on our list is, I'm so glad you included this one. I am extremely happy this one made the list, is Underwater, which is a underrated horror film that more people need to watch. So tell me why this is on the list. Why is this cosmic horror when it's underwater?
Well, kind of like I said at the beginning of the show, Cthulhu likes to take naps, and it doesn't matter where the nap is, in space or underwater, he will be there. Um, so this, okay, I'm not gonna lie, I also am placing my grocery order, so I just had to select my substitutions really quick, sorry. But Kristen Stewart was so good in this role. I really like her a lot, but I can't say I'm like the hugest fan, right? I just think she's a good actress. But in this role, I think the thing that she does worked perfectly. And I was so looking forward to this movie. And it took a while for it to come out, and there was COVID that happened around that time. And it didn't necessarily come out right when it was around the time it was supposed to release. So there was a delay there. But regardless of how it came out or how it was seen, I think it is it truly makes an impact on this genre, because when it takes place underwater, which already is terrifying. We've seen with movies from the 80s and 90s that have captured that kind of fear of being underwater, and this one really does that as well. And that kind of claustrophobia, right? Of at any
Mhm.
moment, everything could go wrong. Um, it really, it's kind of like, um, almost like an adventure movie in a way, as they're moving through these different parts of the
Mhm.
building that they're in, or having to get to the other one and then finding out what is causing the destruction of the building that they're in, um, or the substation that they're at. Um, but really, the thing I've been trying to avoid it saying this from the very start, but the thing that I love the most about this movie is that they commit and they show you the
They do.
monster at the end, and they
What
show
a
you
surprise it was.
Cthulhu. Yeah, at the end, you see all the little creatures all the way, and some of the bigger creatures along the way, and some really crazy kills. Which, if you like crazy kills and bloody, gory kills and things popping, this is definitely a movie for you. Um, but just to see it at the end in its full glory. Like, that makes the whole movie worth it to me, and that it makes it worth watching again. And I just love Kristen Stewart's dialogue and monologues throughout it. I love her delivery of it. I feel that kind of like she is showing panic attacks, and I really think that you feel those panic attacks when she's having them. And again, this is one at the end too. I love the ending. I love that she's kind of the final girl at the end, but in a different, with a twist.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is only a tease of what you get. It actually doesn't really look like this is art for the poster.
Yeah.
But yeah, there isn't really a good shot of the I'll say monster at the end. I agree with what you said, but but it's what a wonderful surprise to have that happen, and it was great. Directed by William Eubank, written by Brian Duffield and Adam Kozad. Cast includes Kristen Stewart, Vincent Castle, oh my gosh, I'm not going to pronounce this, Mamadou Athey, I mispronounced that, TJ Miller, John Gallagher Jr., Jessica Henwick, Gunnar Wright, and more. So fantastic. You just made my day, including that. but that's it. That is your top 10 cosmic horror films. But you have an honorable mention. Do you want to say the honorable mentions, or do you want me to? You
can go ahead and nail them off. That's not how you say that.
Send them into the void.
That's right. There is one I forgot to put on there, so I'm going to add one more, and it's They Live.
They Live. Oh, perfect. Yes, it has to be on here. Hellboy. Yeah. Color Out of Space, which I expected to be on, but I'm glad at least it made an honorable mention.
Yes.
Prince of Darkness.
There's the third one in the trilogy.
Dagon.
Have you seen Dagon?
Once, some time ago, but I have to watch it again to say anything about it. So
filmed in Spain, Spanish cast. I highly suggest watching that one, guys, if you haven't.
And you included a TV show that we actually reviewed as it was coming out, Lovecraft Country.
I had to. It's in the title.
Which was absolutely fantastic. It was a great show. Brought a couple of rising stars. We won't mention them here. If you know, you know. Well, there you go. We'd love to hear your comments about this list down below. There's tons of movies that could be included. So name a few. I'm sure we considered them. All things considered. But Vanessa, thank you so much for joining me. This is a great list. You did a great job. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I love the topic, and I look forward to the comments to see what I missed or I couldn't add to the list.
Definitely. All right, let's say good night.
Good night.